A Sunday morning in an isolated village in Fiji. Children gather at the shore, waiting for the area's priest to arrive by boat. They will pray today for their community. Locals here share a deep connection with the ocean, but it's the rising water that threatens to force them to forsake what is a unique ancestral homeland. Sabi is the home of a king. It's the land of one of Fiji's 3 paramount chiefs, a title passed down through 15 generations. Today's descendants are the guardians of sacred land and are fulfilling an age-old promise to protect it. But there's a big problem. The centre of the village now appears like a wasteland. Water rushes through from the ocean and the mountains during storms.
A few years ago in this village, a storm system knocked down this incredible old, enormous banyan tree, and it's actually become sort of a makeshift barrier now between the village itself and the waves. And it's a constant reminder for people here the power of the sea and extreme events.
Some people have moved their houses already to keep their feet dry. The entire village is meant to be shifted from the shoreline. Resistance to that plan is strong due to locals' dedication to their chief and what it means for their place in the world.
Ana senga ni ilayo da unrobe ebe enalala tu se senga tu ni tawani na nonrtu yawe. So nonrtu itu salawo durumacho na buli ni bibaramatai. Bimbi da echo birto na nonrtu itavi mai bua nonrtu turanga. Kortu sa senga ni rawa ni toi. So nonrtu banananu na toi sa senga ni cho nonrtu tutua.
Despite the reluctance here, planned domestic climate relocation is a national strategy for Fiji. Sabi is one of more than 800 villages in Fiji earmarked to be potentially relocated to a new place, due to the worsening threats posed by the fast-warming planet. The Fijian government has created extensive guidelines to lay out how to do it. It's become something of a pioneer in tackling a growing issue for the entire world. The policy is contained within a lengthy document called the Standard Operating Procedures for Planned Relocation.
So, the SOP outlines the requirements needed to be fulfilled by the communities before it can be relocated. Okay. There will be pre-consultation done, an inclusive consultation done to the community. Okay. After that consultation, then there are technical consultations, formation of task force that needs to come in, preparing the community, documenting what has happened, and how will the government come in to help the community in order to agree, yes, this group of communities or group of people needs to be relocated.
Relocating these communities are hugely complex and emotional processes, which the SOP aims to manage. There are hundreds of villages right across Fiji, just like this one, that are facing the prospect of being dismantled and moved to a safer place. Moves like this are often beset by sadness, a feeling that something is being lost during the process. Community ties are a powerful force here, and it's climate change threatening to undermine them.
It's a painful process. People leaving behind what they've been attached to for years, or generations and generations. And most of them cry over their land. And most of them, it's a form of attachment that really touches their mind, soul, and body. So it's a painful job for all of us. Through the consultations, there are people who say, no, I'm not going to move because of the culture. They may be thinking of their ancestors, we've been finding it difficult for some, but we need to convince them for the betterment of everyone. Climate change is real. It has affected few in the past, but now you've seen that it's going to affect the whole of Fiji.
Just along the coast from Buni Sabi Sabi is Tonga. In 2020, it was devastated by flooding from a powerful cyclone, Yasa.
Makamatangani au karaw ni tunga tunga soke kaviao no lawan ko tunga valeo ni agina igo totoni me laho me sala ho an o ka o abani ni gina ni sa arabu buru ko burunga ngona na boka aro awai.
Since then, locals have lived in fear. The village is surrounded by water, which rises during bad weather. The village chief here is adamant that moving is the only way to have peace of mind.
Abambo anina arenro ngape gambal aninro bakayalo agina au bambo na lumani horomatanga ko nangaw na renga pira may muru ko sana ogi agya ako rokotong.
A nearby site, almost within view of their existing village, has been earmarked for the move. But despite the anxiety of staying in place, relocating has also caused division.
Yabia na kuinga, na kana sabar ogi ay koi. Tunga habe am kana karaw raw. Ang sabar kayo iwangon na mesa ogi. Nena buni vanwa koi. Taraba iguri na maua. Bimbibi ya wa hayabu aba iguri na panos.
The SOP strives to ensure that community, social and cultural structures are not dismantled. But critics of the relocation guidelines as they currently exist say culture is an overlooked factor behind official decision-making.
Our indigenous spirituality is very old. It's tagged and pegged onto the land, and relocation is not an easy thing to do overnight because the ways of living, the values, the ethics of living have been derived from nature, from the environment, and from us as humans, custodians of the ecosystem. If a community is to be relocated and the indigenous knowledge is to be respected and considered, perhaps stakeholders need to consider involving the community themselves from the beginning and asking the right questions about how can their indigenous knowledge inform the decision in moving forward rather than coming in and making a blanket decision, hey, up and go.
Fiji is experiencing climate impacts at a greater pace and intensity than many other parts of the world. Apart from powerful storms, sea level rise is a major threat to coastal communities, just like in Buni Sabi Sabi. To move or not could be a question of survival, or losing something even more profound, connections to the past. Mariana tells local children every day to fight for their home.
And I told them, if you don't do this, maybe in next year, few years' time, you will not be living in here. You will have to move away from here because this place will be washed away and there will be no more Buni Sabi Sabi.